before you start your camera, let me get something over here.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Let each one of you share. You know, when houses were built, first houses that were built for poor people, we didn't have wood floors. Only the rich people got wood floors. You know, as people went on, they usually were done with straw or clay and the roofs, you know, and log cabins. But they were still expected to be stayed clean. So this was your mop of choice and your broom of choice. And it took 20 ears of corn, shucked corn, to make this mop with a piece of wood. And you used a bucket of water, and you scrubbed the floors, and you kept them clean. And I just wanted y'all to feel this mop and just imagine it wet. And that's how you scrub the floor.
Jesus. Oh, God.
And these,
Dang, it's
when
heavy.
when you traveled, you didn't have a nice mattress and box springs, feather beds. You know, feather beds came later. This was your rope bed, and it just came apart, folded up. You could throw it in the back of a wagon. And when you got to wherever you were going, you cleaned out your spot, you would take all your straw and you would put here, and then you would have a blanket you could throw over the straw, and that's where you slept. These were easy to carry and easy to move, and they were cheap to make. You just had to tighten up your ropes after they got stretched out so you didn't fall on the floor. And hope that you weren't too heavy and broke the ropes. This is one of the old crude instruments that was used to harvest wheat, grain. And it's heavy, but you could not only rake it up, but you could pick it up and throw it in the back of a wagon. Here's your spinning wheel. You know, cloth didn't come in bundles back then. You had to get it from cotton. You spun your cotton and you made thread. Then you got your cloth. And here there is an old well bucket back here. There's two. You had wells that you got water from, you know, and some of them, after they made them with a machine, you could use a little skinny bucket. And there'll be another well bucket coming, only it's not for water. They would take and put their milk jugs, and you'll see some of them in there, and they would put them down in this well bucket and drop it down in the well, because you didn't have refrigerators. And that's how they kept milk cold. Or anything that needed to be cool, like your butter, things like that. You could put it down in the well bucket, drop it down in the water, and the cool water from the well would keep it cold. So, and nothing was wasted in the old days, where we throw so much food away and we waste things now. Nothing was wasted. You will see a lard bucket here. When you cook meat, anything left over, you used the lard, and it was your cooking oil. It was your seasoning oil. And you would be putting this old bucket. Here's an old Singer sewing machine that came along later, because at first it was all hand sewn. These are crude tools up here. I call them crude. This is the one that my grandson's fascinated with, because we were down here one day and working, and Jimmy's knife got dull. And that's what this is. You crank it, and you can sharpen any kind of tool or knife or anything. And it actually works pretty good. And it only took them a couple of minutes to sharpen the knife. There's lots of hand tools here. You know, when people came in, they always had to cut the trees down. That's what they made their homes with. And these would be the saws they used right here, along with chopping axes, and that's how they cut them down, long before the power saw came along. And it was hard work. And they called a lot of these saws widow makers. You know, if you didn't cut a tree just right, it would fall down on you.